Z users report spending at least 4 hours every day looking at social media, with the most used platforms being YouTube, Instagram and TikTok. With this huge amount of screen time, users are bound to see an influx of hate comments online. Contributing to this was COVID-19. Since COVID, an acute presence of hatred and negativity can be seen online, so we thought it would be interesting to try to understand the causes and consequences of such a controversial change in the networks. But the question is, are Gen Z becoming desensitized to hate online? Let's look at some interviews to find out.
What social media platform do you use the most?
The social media that I use the most is probably TikTok.
Probably Instagram.
I use Instagram the most.
I think the social media platform I use the most is probably TikTok.
The social media I use the most, I think, is TikTok.
I use TikTok the most.
I'm using Facebook and Instagram.
The social media platform I use the most is TikTok.
What social media platform do you comment on the most?
The social media that I comment the most on is Instagram, because that's where I follow the most people that I have personal relationships with.
I comment the most on Instagram, but TikTok's a close second.
I comment most on Instagram.
I comment on the most. Honestly, I'd probably say still Instagram. Yeah, still Insta, yeah.
Instagram.
The social media I comment on the most is Instagram.
I don't really comment on social media. I don't really engage with comments.
Have you ever engaged with a negative comment online?
In hindsight, I probably have interacted with negative comments on social media, but now I actively try and avoid any negative comments that I see and ignore them.
Yeah, I have engaged with negative comments, but I think it's quite hard to ignore them.
I don't think I have.
I think I've engaged with a negative comment online by reporting it.
No.
It depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but most likely I don't.
Which social media platform do you see the most negativity on, and why do you think that is?
I see the most negative comments on TikTok out of all the social medias that I use, and I'd probably say that is because there's a lot of anonymous accounts on TikTok, so people can comment without having their real name exposed and attached to that comment.
I see the most negativity definitely on TikTok. I think it's because there's a young audience and most of them hide behind a screen on like anonymous accounts.
It's just a cesspit for people to just because I feel it's more broader than Instagram, so you can always film a lot more stuff. You can do a lot more stuff on YouTube, so hence there's just a lot more content and a lot more people to be negative. People are negative everywhere, but it's just a lot more of an opportunity to be negative.
The social media I see the most negativity on is probably YouTube because of the cancel culture.
Probably TikTok. I think because there's more younger people on there. They're a bit more ruthless, and yeah, Gen Z aren't really polite online.
I think more likely in Facebook.
How does it affect you?
It depends on the video. If it's something I guess I'm passionate about and I see some negative stuff on it, then 100%. If not, yeah, I won't care.
It's always making me depressed.
I don't think negative comments affect my mood because they aren't targeted at me, so they're easy to ignore and they don't really affect me.
It rarely affects my mood because it's such a normalised thing on social media. You see it every day.
I don't think it really does affect my mood because it's become so normalised and you see it all the time.
It doesn't affect me. You see so much of it online, you just scroll past it.
Surprisingly, we can see that the most used social media of our participants is not the same as what they see the most hate on. 4 of our participants reported using Instagram most frequently, and yet no one reported seeing the most negativity. YouTube had the opposite issue, with 2 people seeing the most negativity, but no one using it the most. TikTok is the only app with a correlation, with 4 people using it the most and 6 seeing the most negativity. However, this isn't consistent enough to be able to claim a direct correlation. Here's some of our participant responses. These responses can be validated by researcher evidence. Part of the reason people are so comfortable with making negative comments on TikTok is because of the fact that this often has no real-life impact. Anonymity makes it extremely easy for people to say things that they wouldn't otherwise say. Even without anonymity, confrontation is more convenient when you know you won't ever see these people face to face. You can bash people from the comfort of your own home.
When referring to the desensitization of negativity on social media, the increase in tragedies being shared online needs to be spoken about. Current global issues and the increased access to global politics is self-inflicted through sources such as infographics. The overexposure to graphic media and the normalization of explicit imagery, which in the past would have been blurred, are being shared without warning. This has led to Gen Z being bombarded with the news. These atrocities are now losing their significance, so as a result, we struggle to cope with negativity as a society.
Caroline Flack was a reality TV presenter, most known for her hosting role on popular show Love Island. In November 2020, Caroline tragically took her own life as a result of the hate she was receiving online due to personal matters that had been released to the public. It was said that, although her general fluctuating mental state was a background and important in her death, I find the reason for her taking her life was she now knew she was being prosecuted for certain, and she knew she would face the media, press and publicity. It would all come down on her. The topic of online hate comments is an extremely important topic, as Caroline Flack was just one of the many deaths attributed to online hate. The topic is even more influential when regarding Gen Z, with cyberbullying suicide stats indicating that there were 11.8 deaths per 100,000 teens in the 15 to 19 age group. In conclusion, our results show that deaths related to cyberbullying could reach an all-time high, with 80% of our participants reporting feeling no emotion as a result of seeing hate comments due to the sheer amount of comments they see. It is clear that Gen Z has indeed become desensitized.
Meu Deus!